inch rain in like 5 minutes. This is so scary.
Today we're in my home office because we're going to go over some computer stuff. That previous video was me. I got myself stuck in a severe thunderstorm once on just a cragging day, and it was honestly because I didn't do my due diligence checking the weather. So let's go over what I could have done differently. That previous weather video was when I made a poor weather choice. So the story goes that we kind of knew thunderstorms were coming in, hadn't really checked the weather, it'd just been the general pattern for the recent time period, and I said the infamous words, well, we're just doing single pitch climbing, so if it starts raining, we can just lower and come down and then leave. I was like, we'll be fine. Anyways, we get through a climb, and then this ginormous, severe thunderstorm rolls in. And I have never been in anything like it in my entire life. The thunder was constant. So it was the entire time. And then about every minute, you'd have a big boom of a big rattle. About every minute that you could see a flash and a rattle, and it was just the scariest thing I've ever been in. And it was, we couldn't necessarily leave because we had to seek some shelter, and the rain came in so much and was raining so much that the stream that we had crossed ended up with too much fast-flowing water in it that we couldn't bail that direction, so we kind of had to wait out the thunderstorm, and then when it ended, find a different route out where we didn't have to cross that stream. And we were all fine, but in the end, I should have done better at checking the weather, because the funny thing was once we got back to our cars and into cell service, my phone beeped at me, severe weather alert, would you like us to help you make a plan for safety or something like that. And so anyways, that was one of those times I wish I had listened to the weather report. And weather is just one of those really important things that you need to get accurate information from. And so this here is weather.gov, and that is where I would suggest to get all of your weather information. And the reason why I would go to this website over any other website is because weather.gov is where all the other sites get their data from. So you might as well just go straight to the source. Another recent weather thing that I've come across is we wanted to do the Grand Teton this last weekend, and we decided not to because of the weather. So let me walk you through what we did to make that determination. All right, so for choosing to go to the Grand Teton or not, one thing we noticed in the weather report was that there was some snow predicted. So and that would just decrease our summit chances. So using weather.gov, let me walk you through what I did. So if you notice here, one of the really neat things about this website is that you can, over here, click directly where you would like to get your forecast for. So for example, currently what's showing is Jackson Lake, and notice in the forecast it doesn't talk about elevation and it doesn't talk about snow, but then when you switch where you are getting your forecast from, so if you click directly on the Grand there, the forecast now has snow level rising and the temperatures drop. And so that is one of the best things about using weather.gov, is that you can narrow down your prediction area using this map here. And so that is one of the reasons why we made that decision this weekend. Even though, sometimes you really want to go do something, it's not always in the cards for you to go do it. And So let me show you some other really neat tools here. If you go to additional resources, you can also view the radar. And with viewing the radar, it does give a more general area. You can't narrow in on it, but this is a very useful tool in order to get more information about what's the upcoming weather. The second tool here that I would suggest is this hourly forecast. It is one of my favoriteest tools. So if you look here, this shows the green bar is rain, and then it also shows thunderstorms. It doesn't go backwards in time, so that's why it's not showing the snow that was overnight, but it will show snow also. And with the rain, notice that it's slight chance, and then likely, and then occasional. And it also gives the total amounts, so like 0.002 inches of rain. Along here, it gives the relative humidity, precipitation potential in brown, and along with the sky coverage. And remember, with precipitation potential, that's like 41% of the area will be raining, so of 0.02 inches. It also gives the wind speeds. The wind speeds also affected our decision to go do the Grand Teton with these like high gusts that were occurring. And then at the very top, it gives temperatures, and it also gives dew points at the very top of this chart. One interesting thing for you to remember is relative humidity can also be a useful tool. Relative humidity, what relative humidity can show is that the, with relative humidity, when it's closer to 100%, that means that the air is very full and saturated, and if there is a dip in temperature, it could potentially rain. So the closer it is to 100%, paired up with a dip in temperature, can be a precipitation indicator. Also notice down here, it gives your thunder risk. I mean, afternoon thunder showers in the Grand Teton are a very common thing, but it's important to keep that in mind. Now let's look forward in the forecast for the Grand Teton if we wanted to do it in the future. So it is starting to look a lot better for a summit potential this up and coming week. I think it does 7 days in advance here. Okay, let's take a look at another location. So let's go ahead and scroll into the map into another spot. We are going to look at a Slot Canyon area. So with this, remember, you can click exactly on the map where you're looking instead of just looking up Escalante, Utah, or whatever. You can go directly to the location on the map, then go to the hourly forecast, and it's looking pretty good here for this Slot Canyon adventure. But remember, it's not just, is the weather good, is the weather bad? We need to make sure to be prepared for all things that could occur. So if this weather report ends up not being accurate, we need to make sure to bring the gear in case the weather is something opposite of what was predicted. We need to take into consideration, for example, like a drainage for a slot canyon in case something was to occur, or like if we're doing a high mountain thing, what kinds of weather could possibly occur and how can we be prepared for it? Because in the end, we use the best data that we can, but weather is still predictions. So to close out this weather talk, please, check out weather.gov. You type in your zip code here to get you started. It'll bring you on to that next page to research whatever adventure you're going on. And in the comments below, let us know a time when maybe you didn't make the best weather decision, because I already shared mine.